So what do you call yourself? Welcome to the LaTangela Show.
Hey, what can I do for you this fine day?
This is your destiny. Hot, hot, hot.
Right now.
Welcome to the LaTangela Show.
Kick it.
Come on in and enjoy yourself.
Right now.
We gon' party like no one else. Welcome to the LaTangela Show.
Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now? Well, good. Hey, what's really good? It's your girl LaTangela, and thank you so much for taking time out of your schedule to hang out with me for another episode of the LaTangela Show. Well, we'll chit about this, we'll chat about that, giving you the inside scoop, did you know, news brief, and you know I had to dig deep for some random research as I am the queen of random research. Some of the things that I have a lot of questions on and I need answers. Not saying they're the right answers, but I'm definitely not saying they're the wrong answers. But we're going to come up with some answers because we're not the only ones with these questions. Hey, look, I would love for you to chime in. Join the conversation. Twitter alert, at LaTangela Fay. And of course, you can always find all of my links posted at LaTangela.com. It means more than you know to hear from you and to get the feedback and to say, hey, look, I'm up, I'm having tea time with Tange, or I had the opportunity to read the book, or I checked out your blog on the website, or even if some of the random research caught you off guard and it made you think. That's it. You know, the world has so many other stress and pressures. We just want to unplug and unwind from time to time. And you know, we have so many different ways of staying connected. Monday through Sundays, I am the voice inside your speaker box. WMX Max 9401, Baton Rouge's official #1 for hip hop and R&B. 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. So make sure you turn me on and turn me up. Let's see. Then we have Wednesday nights, right? Wednesday nights, I am your official host for the Louisiana Film Channel, highlighting all of Louisiana culture, our local filmmakers, and you know, the arts and crafts. I'm really enjoying this leg of the journey as well. And you know, with the website, it'll click you through YouTube pages, podcasts, TV shows. Out here in these streets, we ain't never hard to find. So let's chat. Let's connect. Thank you so much to WGN01 Radio for helping me get the word out as well. I appreciate you more than you know. Now, you know, for our state, we're in phase 3. Phase 3 of reopening, whatever that may look like to us right now. That's where we are. Across the state is still a mandate for us to have our face coverings, our face masks. Thank you to my girl Diane. She's out in Denver, but she made sure that I was stylish and safe. You see that? She made me a beautiful mask, several of them to be honest with you, and I love them, and I have her links posted as well. I know that safety is first, and we want to keep that in mind, but with so many different changes, what does it look like for you and your family? Your day-to-day operations. Are you back at work? Are the kids back at school? Are you going to church service on Sundays now? Like, are you getting out, going to the park? Or are you still in phase 1, phase 2? Not quite sure what to do? I'm somewhere between here and there, to be honest with you. And I really want to hear, how is it working for you? You know, let's break into some of this, did you know, news brief with research. According to Mirror, only 1 in 5 people use their lunch break to eat lunch. I'm like, that kind of makes sense to me, but they did list some of the things that they decide to do instead. Do you actually eat lunch on your lunch break? You get about, what, 30 minutes? 45 minutes, depending on where you are, how long you've been there. Well, a survey found that 1 in 5 people do most of the time decide to eat lunch, but for the others, 79% say, look, we usually eat while we work instead, so we can have our lunch period free. Genius. I'm with you. We're gonna eat while we're on the job, so that lunch break, we can just chill and parlay. They say they usually take a walk somewhere for exercise instead of taking that lunch break to eat. Check social media. Now, let's be honest. We are checking social media while we're working. We don't wait for our lunch break to do that. Take care of general life tasks, life planning dinners and paying bills, yeah. Read a book during your lunch break. Catch up on the news, okay. Listening to music. Well, what's on your lunch break music playlist? Playing a game on your phone. Hi, I'm LaTangela Fay, and I am addicted to dominoes and words with friends. Am I the only one? Well, It's not usually on my lunch break. It's like at 2 and 3 o'clock in the morning, like those peak hours. That's when I'm on Words with Friends and Domino's. You can find me there. Let's link. And online shopping. They use that lunch break for that versus eating lunch. Who knew? Now, the survey also found that 2/3 of us skip lunch completely a lot of the times because we want to take a full lunch break 3 days a week so we can work through and get off a little earlier. I'm here for that. Now, I want to take it back just a tad. I'm looking at some of these kids and some of the toys and games that they're playing thinking you don't have a real childhood. You just don't. Where is the slime? Where are the slinkies, the jacks, the jump ropes, hopscotch, dodgeball? Like, what are you doing? Like, kids will not have a childhood with these games that they're playing now. I had to dig deep for the research. According to Museum of Play, which is really such a thing, the Museum of Play says that the National Toy Hall of Fame just announced the 12 finalists for its 2020 class. And once again, my favorite childhood toys made the list. They did, some of them. Let's see if any of these ring a bell for you. The National Toy Hall of Fame just announced that the finalists for 2020 class includes Jenga. Jenga, I think, gave half of the class anxiety. Like, should I or should I not? Should I or should I not? Jenga is now being inducted for that. Light Bright. You remember the Light Brights? You were scared of the dark. What did you get? A light bright. You can make cute little smiley faces, or you could create little boats, and it's like a little night light. Don't stunt like you don't remember the light bright. Okay. He-Man action figures. They're just not making the list. My Little Pony made the list for 2020. Risk. I don't remember Risk. Do you? I have now. I need to Google Risk. Sidewalk Chalk. Hopscotch is making a comeback all 2020. And Yahtzee. And we learned how to shoot dice courtesy of Yahtzee. Now, the 3 or so that will be inducted to the Hall of Fame will be announced in November, but these are some of the finalists. So if I had to roll with the finalists, I know for a fact He-Man action figures gotta be there. I don't even want to hate on that. My Little Pony should definitely have already been there. I'm not sure what else is gonna make it. Okay, the finalists this year are also Baby Nancy doll. No. Bingo. Briar toy horses. Okay. The game Sorry. I do remember the game Sorry, but I don't remember how to play that. Trouble. Did Trouble ever make the list? Or Operation? Do you remember? Now, those are some good board games. Connect 4. Yeah. Well, last year, the 3 toys that made it were the Coloring Book, Magic the Gathering cards, and Matchbox cards. For the nominees this year were ones that didn't make the cut last year: Jenga, He-Man, My Little Pony, and Risk. So now that they're back for the next phase, chances are they'll be inducted into the class of 2020 Toys Hall of Fame. The more you know. So this year, add that to the kids' Christmas list so they can know what real toys and real games are made of. Why not? Also making the list of things making a comeback courtesy of pandemic. COVID-19 has made us spend more time at home, sharpening some skills, creating new skills, picking up new hobbies. Well, the pandemic has also led to a resurgence in guitar sales. Really? You remember a couple of months ago, I told you that Fender was offering free guitar lessons. Well, stemming from that, you see a lot of people are picking up the new hobby of learning how to play their guitar. And the CEO of Fender says, quote, "I would never have predicted we would be looking at a record year," end quote. We're in homes, just strapping up, singing along, singing our song. And there you have it. So what's the new hobby that you picked up? Is there a hidden talent that you've discovered during this COVID-19 break? These are questions that need answers. Hit me up on the Twitter alert at LaTangela Fay. And of course, I want to hear from you. Drop me a line at LaTangela.com. Oh, I cannot make this stuff up. Some of you folks are making headline news for all the wrong reasons. I don't know if I should tell this story or not. Blink once for yes, twice for no. Okay, well, I'm going to tell it. According to the reports, making headline news for all the wrong reasons, and I'm going to say for all the wrong reasons because I just feel some type of way for even reporting it. Forgive me in advance. 84-year-old Yuko Ogasawara of Tokyo is reportedly the world's oldest porn star. And she's upset because the pandemic, quote, "I haven't been able to shoot since last fall," end quote. She says she's still staying ready for whenever production can start up again. Now, okay, so is this like an OnlyFans or fans only page? How do you know she's the world's oldest porn star? Is this like a Guinness World Book of Records that she's trying to hold? Whose grandmama is this out here cutting up? Like, what are we doing? Like, no, I don't want to know what are we doing, but like, what does she mean? She's saying geared up and ready for whenever she can go out and shoot again. Like, dear 2020, let's talk about this. Okay, well, also making headline news around the world in 60 seconds or less, Los Angeles County announced earlier this week that it was banning all trick-or-treating. What do you mean? I'm walking in everywhere from Walgreens to Dollar General to Albertsons, you name the store, it's already out. Halloween candy, they're trick-or-treat, smell my feet, give me something good to eat. Everywhere you go, the nastiest little candy corns are out. Yes, I said it. The nastiest little candy corns are out. They're selling big grab bags. And now you're telling me that Los Angeles County announced earlier this week that they're going to cancel trick-or-treating? Do tell more. But after a backlash, because they wasn't having that, officials backpedaled and said it's just, quote, not recommended, end quote. So you can still trick-or-treat if you like, but it's not recommended because COVID-19 has caused a lot of changes. You know, you don't really want to go out there in the masses trick-or-treating and social distancing, but you'll have on a mask for Halloween, right? What? I don't know, but it did make headline news. I read it. I had to tell it to someone. I figured I might as well tell it to you. Well, also making headline news around the world in 60 seconds or less, 55% of people say they feel safe going back to their offices, but that's skewed by the people who have private offices at work. That makes sense. Less than half of people who work in cubicles or open floor plans would feel safe going back. Now, when we talk about finding some sense of normalcy, where do you stand with that? Are you ready to get back to normal? And when I say normal, back to the beginning of 2020, before we knew COVID-19 was a thing. Let's say mid-March, before everything shut down mid-March. Are you that secure in going back? Yet. Not quite. Not quite. Oh, wait a minute. Let me pick this up and give it to you real. Hear ye, hear ye. Cuffing season, my friend. It's really a thing. Now, it's the name of the time of year when people usually try to lock down a new relationship so they're not alone during the holidays. Cuffing season. In case you ever were wondering, what is cuffing season? It usually starts in November. But according to the reports, because of the uncertainty with this pandemic, it's happening right now. We're going to move it up, so come into the roster in your starting lineup for cuffing season. We won't wait till November. We'll start mid-September, early October. We'll get down to our draft picks and see what we come up with. November, who's making it over for Thanksgiving? Questions that need answers. Oh my goodness. Okay, also making headlines for all the wrong reasons. You'd hate to be this guy. He's out in Nebraska. Nebraska, I never really get the chance to pick on you, and I do my best not to bother nobody. But when y'all come up doing ignorant stuff like this, I gotta talk about it. This guy in Nebraska robbed a Walgreens, but he robbed the Walgreens after he showed his ID to the register to purchase some cigarettes. Got to be more careful. Oh, okay. It was a rough night. Rough night, tough crowd. So he's arrested and the rest is downhill from there. Ooh, no one was hurt during the robbery. Botched job. Po baby. Emojipedia. Have you ever heard of it? Emojipedia. If you ever go through your phones, you're like, what is this icon? What does this emoji mean? Well, there's an Emojipedia to tell you what it means. The purple heart means this. The little hammer means this. Okay, gotcha. Well, reportedly from Emojipedia, we have some new emojis that's coming next year that's just been announced. The emoji rollout for 2020 was actually botched because of COVID-19, like everything this year, botched. But the timeline goes on and we're going to get some new emojis for 2021, so brace yourself. You no longer have to use your words. We're replacing words with universal emojis. That's a problem, because now we really don't type full sentences. Beyond us putting everything in shorthand, now we're taking our words and just adding little emojis, and it's okay. And that's how we get our messages all mixed up. We're typing in all caps. People think that we're yelling, but we're really just excited. You know, we don't learn how to communicate because we're communicating through text and emojis. However, for the 2021 emojis, a man with a hipster haircut and beard is coming to your emoji list. A heart wrapped in bandages is coming to your emoji list. A heart on fire is coming to your emoji list, as well as a face with swirly eyes, a face in the clouds, and a face puffing out smoke. Coming to Emojipedia 2021. I read it, had to tell it to somebody, might as well tell it to you. That should hit our phone sometime next year. Okay, you know, speaking of our phones being able to do too much, giving us too much access, according to New York Post, I'm a little upset with this. I don't know if I would use this service, or if I would be even more upset if someone used this service on me, or if there's ever a point in time in life where this could actually come in handy. There's a new app that lets you hire an anonymous person to spy for you. I mean, because it's hard to get you some good, reliable friends to spy for you these days. It's just everybody's, they're telling too much. You know what I'm saying? Like, they too in the know. They slide in people DMs saying, hey, you know, she watching you again. Hey, come on, man. Come on. Like, we ain't cutting corners to see what time they leave home or what. Like, so now there's this new app, just when you thought it couldn't get any lazier in our efforts. No, there's an app for that. It's called Mole. There's a mole amongst us, and the mole is going to allow us to hire someone to spy for us. So you go on Mole and you post that you want to see live video of a certain location. So whoever is near that location will start live streaming and send it to you. That could be dangerous. I'm not playing with Mole. I'm not trying to beat a mole. I don't even want any parts of that. I'm mad I read this. Or maybe you just want to see the Eiffel Tower and, you know, they could just, maybe you can use it for sightseeing. But don't use that for spying, because that's going to get somebody in trouble. Mole, I'm watching you. You better, I'm watching you. Well, listen, you don't have to go to Mole to find me. I'm telling you, look for me at LaTangela.com. While you're there, I want you to check out my new book. It's the 4th edition of my writing series entitled Poof, Power Over Obstacles Forever. Whatever that obstacle may be, look at it until it, poof, be gone, right? No matter who we are, where we are, what phase of life we're in, we all have those obstacles. But it's comforting to know that even in challenging times such as these, we have the power over obstacles forever. It's available on Amazon, but it's also available at LaTangela.com. And I'd love you to check it out. You know, I got some of my favorite chapters in here. Let's see here. New beginning, new birth. I love that one. Growing pains. I love it. Pain in motion. I love that one as well. Power over stress. Sometimes we just need to hear it, right? Power over the enemy. The gain of loss. It's going to take some deep understanding for that one, but the gain of loss. And definitely not least, but it's coming in last, a powerful chapter on power of prayer. I want you to check it out, and as a matter of fact, I'm going to gift the next 4 people who slide in my DMs. Slide in my DMs at LaTangela Fay and put Tea Time with Tan. Tea Time with Tan, and I'm going to gift you a copy of my book, Poof, Power Over Obstacles Forever. You know, breaking you off of more of this random research, study find they say people would rather spend time with their friends than their family. I would like to think that their family is their friends and they just kind of got it mixed up. But they said, no, Tan, that's not what we said. We said that people would rather spend time with their friends than their family. They're least happy when they're spending time with their husband or wife. Oh, wait, not the ones that you choose to do life with, right? Like this isn't your mama and your daddy that you kind of born into the situation. They say you're really miserable when you have to spend that time with your wife or your husband. I'm like, oh, you mean to tell me I really don't want one of these? But I do, like I really wanna, I do. But according to the study finds, one big catch with the researchers, they say that the main thing that makes us happy is what we're doing when we're spending time with different people. And sometimes our families are so judgmental that we can't be happy or experience life to the fullest without them watching us with that judgmental eye. Got to be more careful. The majority of the time that we spend with our friends involves doing something fun. Makes sense. And yeah, we do fun stuff with our families too, but you know, they said with them, it's more like fun chores. Okay. Well, let's see here. PR Newswire, they've conducted some random research, and I want to see if you've made this list. All the single ladies and my single fellas, are they talking about you with this? According to PR Newswire, 2/3 of single people have officially lowered their standards. Yay or nay? Blink once for yes, twice for no. As a matter of fact, I want you to hit me up on my Twitter alert, @LaTangela Fay. Have you, as a single person, lowered your standards in order to find someone? Well, these past 6 months have made a lot of people take a long look at what it's like to be single. Hello, somebody. Talking about what? What? I'm feeling it. And we really don't like what we see. Now, that's not just according to PR Newswire. That's me talking to you. This is a real heart-to-heart moment. I'm trying to figure out my life day by day. Now, according to the new survey, 2 out of 3 single people on dating apps say that they've lowered their standards because of the pandemic. The main reasons are they haven't liked being alone during this pandemic. They don't like being alone during the quarantine, and they're getting more worried about finding a relationship because outside may not reopen anytime soon. The survey also found that 3/4 of people say they spend more time talking with people they meet on dating apps before they get together during this time. So I guess now they're really spending a lot of time getting to know each other on the apps versus just swipe left and meeting up. Like, I don't know about the lowering the standards part. I will say I'm not really fond of this single life, but that was before quarantine. Quarantine hasn't made it any easier to just be out and about to find somebody or be found by somebody, but I don't know about the lowering your standards part. Questions that need answers, hit me up. Okay, have you been drinking at work? Not water, not tea, not orange juice. I'm talking about the nip. Have you been sipping on the nip while on the job? Well, they've conducted some research, and happy hour has been starting on the job a lot earlier in a lot of states. And a new survey looked at the states that do the most drinking on the clock. Did your state make the list? 2,000 people were asked if they ever had an adult beverage during work hours. And overall, 34% said yes. I think half of them lied. The ones who said no lied. Only 34% gonna be honest. Give them a drink and tell them to come back. Okay, now Alaska came in at number 1. I didn't see Alaska coming in at number 1, but I guess on that ice and on that water, all they got to do is drink and fish. So maybe. Well, 2/3 say they've done it, and Nebraska is last at just 13%. Now, the 10 states with the most on-the-clock drinkers, let's see if you make the list. Alaska, 67%. Maine, 60%. New Mexico, 56%. Oklahoma at 51%. Delaware, Hawaii, Mississippi, and Nevada all tied for 50%. Indiana, 46%. And Connecticut, 45%. Who knew? Now, the states where people are the least likely to drink during the work hours are Nebraska, Massachusetts, South Dakota, Arkansas, and Rhode Island. The survey also asked people what they prefer. If it was beer, if it was wine, or if it was liquor. Liquor dominated with 27 states. 18 states went with beer, and only 5 prefer wine. Y'all over here sipping on the job and got the nerves to be bougie about it. What you sipping on? What you got that's cold? I can't take you nowhere. Okay, listen, we've missed football, right? And I'm going to end this right here because entering into phase 3, we have a lot of questions that need answers. But with phase 3, a lot of things get to reopen. Football, you've missed it. So let's just break it down with numbers on both sides of the spectrum for football in the NFL. How much money is the NFL losing per week, per game, per team? And why is it so important that we open it up for the masses to be able to come back to buffer that cost? All right, so let's just go through it according to Forbes and Sportscasting. I'm gonna give it to you fast because I just want you to think about this, all right? Well, NFL, it was cute when we had the digital fan base and we had the cute little cutouts. No. Forbes said this ain't cute and it ain't working. It is not working in our favor at all. So when they started saying who's losing the most money during this NFL season per game, whether you love them or not, whether they're winning or losing, and they lose a lot. They're losing the most right now. Not games, not in life. I'm talking about money. Them boys, them Dallas Cowboys, no matter how you feel about their little team or whatever, they are losing the most money per week because their fans are so loyal. They're losing $77 million per week. So if you do 8 at-home games, that's roughly about $616 million for 8 home games. Now, who's coming in next? You got the New England Patriots. They're next at $39 million per game that they're losing. Followed by the New York Giants, $32 million per game. Houston Texans, I didn't even think they'd be a contender for this, but $27 million being lost per week. And the New York Jets, $27 million being lost per week. So it's important that we can open up, get back to these games, get people in these stands, and they said we're going to throw caution in the wind. Throw caution in the wind. Meaning, we don't know if it's safe or not, but caution in the wind is usually attached to some numbers. In this case, the numbers are $77 million per game. Now that's generated by ticket sales. It's also generated by parking, marketing, sponsorships, brand activations in the stadiums, and all of the other things that generate money. So when you see all of these states and these activities begin to open up and you see the timely fashions that they begin to open up, you'll see why it's important. So stay a part of the conversation and see, what does COVID look like in your area? Is it really safe for us to go back? Or is it really lucrative for them to send us back? These are questions that need answers, and I want to hear from you. So hit me up. Twitter alert, at LaTangela Fay. And of course, you can always find me posted up at LaTangela.com. Now look, I got some more work to do, so I'm going to leave you with another one of my songs, Never Knew. And I hope that you enjoy it as I'm filling the blank pages of my musical journal. Now, you enjoy the rest of your night. I love you, and there's absolutely nothing you can do about it.
Mic check, mic check. Mic check, mic check. Yep. Hey. Na, 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 na. I like to call this some of that feel-good music. Rock with me. Ah, na, 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 the sunrise, and I looked into your eyes. Now I feel what I never felt. What a surprise. What a surprise. I searched high and I searched low, 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 low. Been trying to find some peace of mind and a little love. But I never would have thought, turn around and here you go. It's you, all that I've been looking for. Peace of love and so much more. Poof. You've been there all along, and I never knew it. But now I do. right by my side from day one. How could I be searching for another one? It's been you and me all along. You've been the inspiration to my favorite song. All that I've been looking for, peace of love and so much more. You've been there all along, and I never knew. But now